Hello teacher, my name is Doris Elizabeth Alas Martinez and today I'm going to explain chapter 9, that is semantic. What is semantic? In linguistics, semantic is the study of meaning in language. Also, it explores how words and sentences convey meaning, how meaning can be represented and understood as well. And now, what is meaning? Meaning refers to the understanding, interpretation, or significance that we attribute, for example, words, phrases, sentences, and other linguistic expressions. Semantic features. Semantic features refer to the specific attributes or characteristics that are associated with a word or concept. For example, when we use the word cat, we are using it as a container. Semantic roles help us understand the meaning and structure of our sentences by assigning a specific role to different elements. Some common semantic roles are agent, the entity that performs the action; themed, the entity that is involved in the action; instrument, the tool or means used to carry out an action. And also we have others, for example, experiencer, location, wall, and source. And this is all for me. Thank you.
Hello teacher, my name is Fatima Guardado and I'm going to explain the principal lexical relations. These are synonyms that are different words that have the same or similar meaning, and it's the opposite of antonymy, that are words that with opposite meaning. A hyponymy is a word or phrase whose semantics field is included within another word. A prototype is a category that allows listeners to understand a concept. Homophones are a group of words that share the same pronunciation but have different meanings. On the other hand, homonyms is a group that share the same spelling and the same pronunciation but have different meanings. A polysemy is when a symbol, a word, or a phrase means many different things. Collocation is a group of two or more words that are almost always put together to create a specific meaning. And a concordance is a textual corpus and a lexicon so combined that every substantive word in the text is linked to its appropriate sense in the lexicon.
Hi, my name is Milton Cruz and I will continue with the explanation of chapter number 10 about pragmatics. First of all, there are other aspects of meaning that depends on the context or the communicative intentions of the speakers. So the study of what a speaker means or speaking meaning is called pragmatics. The first concept to be defined is context. We interpret the words in a specific situation. So context is basically the pre-existing assumptions about a likely message. We have different kind of contexts. We have physical, linguistic, and social contexts. Now let's talk about axes. There are some very common words in our language that can be interpreted if at all if we don't know the context. In deixis, we can find person deixis, spatial deixis, and temporal deixis. Now let's talk about reference. Reference is an act by which the speaker or writer uses languages in order to enable a listener or reader to identify something. An inference is additional information used by the listener to create a connection between what is said and what must be meant. Now, an anaphora can be defined as a subsequent reference to an already introduced entity. Mention of the assumption. When we are talking about an assumption made by the speaker, we usually talk about a presupposition. Exists a much less common pattern called an off cataphora, which reverses the antecedent and anaphora relationship by beginning with a pronoun it, then later revealing more specific information. Now let's describe what is a presupposition. Is what a speaker or writer assumes is true or known by a listener or reader. Now the speech acts. We use the term speech act to describe actions such as requesting, commanding, questioning, or informing. We can define a speech act as the action performed by a speaker with an utterance. We have the direct and indirect speech act. Basically, when we are talking about the direct speech act, we use the structure for its respective function. And on the other hand, we have the indirect speech act. That is when we are using a structure for another function. For example, I can requesting something using a structure of a question. Now the felicity condition that are conditions that must be satisfied in order to a speech act to achieve its purpose. Politeness can be defined as showing awareness and consideration of another person's face. The most relevant concept in politeness is face. Face is your public self-image. We have a negative and positive face. Negative is when is the need to be independent and free from imposition, and positive face is the need to be connected, to belong, or be member of a group. And this is how we conclude our presentation. Thank you for your attention.